Community vibes.
More heat.
In the nation's capital, Monrovia, good evening and welcome to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Wednesday, January 7, 2026. I'm Newton Topa presenting. Stories will follow in this evening. Sino County District 2 Representative Samson Wyatt accuses deployed AFL personnel at the Sapo National Park of discharging firearms in Jedebo, Sino County, calls on authority of the Armed Forces of Liberia to launch an investigation into the alleged shooting incident. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, announces its readiness to host the inaugural Liberia European Union Business Forum in Belgium. Foreign Minister Sarah Besloyati says the forum will feature high-level policy discussions and structural networking opportunities. Citizens Movement for Change political leader and Lima County District 7 representative Musa Ability criticizes the legislature for its decision to repass President Boakar's veto put reform bill, argues that the action falls short of the principles of intergovernmental collaboration and responsible lawmaking. Away from whom a plot to kill Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, has been thwarted, the West African nation has announced. These plus the news bulletin, our international developments, and all package. We are taking a very short break to be right back. Thanks for rejoining us at this juncture. We cross over to Stephen Conton with the news bulletin.
Son County Representative Samson Weir has called on the authority of the armed forces of Liberia to immediately investigate an alleged shooting incident, reported acts of intimidation by deployed AFL personnel at the Sapo National Park. Speaking to journalists on Wednesday at the Capitol building, Weah disclosed that he received reports of a serious security incident in which AFL personnel allegedly occupied parts of the town and discharged live ammunition, causing widespread panic among residents and forcing many to flee into nearby bushes for safety. According to the lawmaker, the AFL deployment to the area was originally intended to remove illegal miners from protected forest zones and to stop illegal mining activities within the area. However, Representative Weir alleged that subsequent reports indicated that some AFL personnel abandoned their assigned posts and remained within civilian community contrary to the scope of their operation. He further stated that formal complaints were submitted to senior AFL authorities regarding the situation, but alleged that the officers involved continued to act outside their mandate at the Sapo National Park. The lawmaker also claimed that some of the deployed AFL officers entered the community under the influence of alcohol and attempted to interfere with traditional practices. According to him, when traditional authorities instructed residents to remain indoors in observance of a customary protocol, the AFL allegedly resisted the directives and later opened fire, reportedly discharging dozens of rounds across the town. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has announced its readiness to host the inaugural Liberia European Union Business Forum in Belgium. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the forum is scheduled to begin on February 24, 2026, and will be held on the theme The Arts in the Arrest Invest in Liberia 2026. The disclosure was made on Wednesday by Liberia's Foreign Minister, Sarah Beslow Yanti, in collaboration with European Union Ambassador to Liberia, Nona Duprez. They disclosed that the forum is being organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the National Investment Commission, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, along with other key government institutions. The officials noted that the event formed part of Liberia's broader economic diplomacy and investment promotion strategy aimed at attracting foreign direct investment and strengthening international partnership. They further explained that the forum will highlight investment opportunities aligned with the core period of the Unity Party-led government's arrest agenda, including agriculture, road and infrastructure, trade, tourism, among others. The diplomats added that the forum will also feature high-level policy discussion, sector-specific section, and structured networking opportunities designed to enhance trade relationships, attract sustainable development and investment, accelerate Liberia's development agenda in line with the Economic Partnership Agreement, and broader the EU-Africa Cooperation Framework. The Liberia European Union Business Forum is expected to bring together investors, entrepreneurs, policymakers, development partners, and members of the Liberian diaspora. Citizens Movement for Change political leader and Nimba County District 7 representative Musa Bereti has criticized the legislature for its decision to repass President Joseph Boyka's vetoed port refund bill. President Boycott recently vetoed the bill, citing the need for greater clarity, among other things. The proposed legislation says to establish an independent Liberia Sea and Inland Ports Regulatory Authority, again, autonomous status to seaports across the country. While critics argue that the legislature decision to override the bill has serious constitutional and political tension surrounding the control, structure, and future direction of Liberia's maritime governance system. While speaking Wednesday on Orchid FM, Representative Berete described the legislature's action as a total embarrassment to Liberia's governance framework. He maintained that the act to conduct over the year has contributed to serious challenges for the Liberian people, including economic hardship and poor governance. Berete further argued that the Senate should have addressed the concerns raised in the veto by providing clearer explanations and revision before moving to repass the bill. He said the action falls short of the principle of intergovernmental collaboration and responsible lawmaking. In a related development, the Nima County District 5 lawmaker denied any involvement in an alleged plan by members of the House of Representatives to remove Speaker Richard Coon. It also cautioned his colleagues against allowing personal ambitions and fractional politics to overshadow their national responsibilities, warning that persistent internal conflict undermined the legislature's ability to effectively serve the Liberian people. Aggrieved citizens of Upper Bunk electoral district, including traditional leaders, elders, youth groups, women organizations, and temporary National Election Commission staffers, have issued a one-week ultimatum demanding the recall of Alfred Tokpa as senior election magistrate of Upper Bong County. The ultimatum was contained in a formal petition presented Wednesday to Bong County Superintendent Howard Morris, calling on the NEC to immediately revise Tokbal's appointment and replace him with what they describe as a qualified and experienced son or daughter of the county. The citizens alleged that although the NEC internally advertised the position between August 7 and August 15, 2025, the process lacked transparency and fairness. They also claim that the vacancy was posted only on a bulletin board at NED headquarters rather than the Commission's official website, alleged limiting access for qualified applicants from Bong County. The petitions further contend that several experienced electoral workers from Upper Bong County, some with more than 14 years of service across all electoral districts, applied for the position but were not shortlisted for interview. They argue the process was deliberately structured to exclude local candidates. Tokpa was appointed in September 2025 by NEC chairperson David Etta Brown Lassanan with the backing of senior NEC official. However, the citizen described the appointment as controversial, alleging it was neither participatory nor transparent. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Bong County Detachment has arrested 5 individuals in connection to alleged trafficking of drugs in the county. Addressing journalists at the LDEA headquarters in Banga, Commander Thomas said explained that the 5 alleged drug suspects were arrested after an early morning LDEA patrol around the famous Methodist Capilla base. According to Commander Say, the suspects were gathering other notorious drug suspects to rebuild their areas after the festive season. He noted that these suspects will be charged and turned over to the 9th Judicial Circuit Court for further investigation. And in another development, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency has suspended 2 of its officers for publicly assaulting a female who they claim is a drug suspect. On Tuesday, viral social media platform where it's seen video with evidence of 2 LDEA officers identified as Solomon Bodo and Faith Weddy assaulting the female suspect. However, in a press release issued hours after the incident, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency condemned their action, describing it as unacceptable and in direct violation of the agency's code of conduct, which strictly prohibits assault, abuse, and inhuman treatment of any person. A staunch supporter of the opposition Coalition for Democratic Change, based in the United States of America, has contributed 1,000 United States dollars toward the construction of the party's proposed new national headquarters in Congo Town. The donation was made early Wednesday when the chairman of the CDC Construction Committee, Surafuna Kofa, received the amount from Harlington Tulid as an initial payment towards a 10,000 pledged. The pledge was made following the demolition of the CDC's former headquarters by the Liberia National Police. Tule, who recently traveled from the United States to Liberia, said his contribution was meant to fulfill his promise to the party after what he described as the illegal demolition of the CDC's former headquarters in Congo Time. He condemned the demolition, describing it as heartbreaking and politically motivated, adding that such action could set a dangerous precedent for other political parties in the country. Grand Bassa County District 2 Representative Clarence Banks has accused former local authority of his district of massive corruption during the administration of former President Joshua. Addressing journalists Tuesday, Representative Banks noted that upon taking office in 2024, he invited the General Auditing Commission to conduct a survey in District 2, which he said uncovered several financial misapplication by authority of the district. According to him, information gathered revealed that funds provided by companies for development projects in the district during the we-led administration were misused and failed to translate into meaningful developmental projects. The Grand Bassa County lawmaker, however, praised the Asset Recovery Committee for honoring his request and comparing the affected local authority to restitute the mismanaged funds, stressing that no amount of money is too small when it is not used for its internal purpose. Nobel Peace Prize laureate Lehman Bowie has criticized Liberia jailed ex-president Charles Taylor administration, describing it as gangster regime. According to Hall, the Taylor administration was marked by total fear, intimidation, and bad governance, which caused the country destruction rather than development. She, at the same time, rejected claims that the Taylor era brought order and stability in Liberia, arguing that the Taylor regime power was exercised through fear rather than institutions. The Nobel Peace Prize laureate also recounted how citizens' lives were placed on total danger, especially at checkpoints and during encounters with state security officers. And Nima County Senator Samuel Koga has called for unity among citizens ahead of the 2029 general elections. Appearing on social media talk show Tuesday, Senator Kogan argued that all stakeholders within Nima County to put their political differences aside and unite for the common good of the county. According to him, the current political division among stakeholders, citizens, including local chiefs, will not help the county but rather bring fragmented chaos among citizens ahead of the 2029 election. The news bulletin is back to you, Newton Toba, for the continuation of the news program.
Stephen Compton with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature here on King's Newsroom. What if you just joining us? A reminder, you're listening to King's Newsroom, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories we're following this evening. Sino County District 2 Representative Samson Weird accuses deployed AFL personnel at the Sapo National Park of discharging firearms in Jericho, Sando County, calls on authority of the armed forces of Liberia to launch an investigation into the alleged shooting incident. Government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, announces its readiness to host the inaugural Liberia European Union Business Forum in Belgium. Foreign Minister Sarah Besloyanti says. And away from Liberia, a plot to kill Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, has been thwarted, the West African nation has announced. These, plus the news bulletin, our voices of the newsmakers are all packaged. We are taking a very short break. When we come back, we continue with voices on the program. Thanks for rejoining. On this development now, Sino County Electoral District 2 Representative Samson Weir has called on authority of the Armed Forces of Liberia to immediately investigate an alleged shooting incident and reported it acts of intimidation by deployed AFL personnel at the Sapo National Park in Jericho, Sino County. Speaking to journalists on Wednesday at the Capitol building, Representative Weir said he received reports of serious security incident in which AFL personnel allegedly occupied parts of towns and villages and discharged live ammunition, causing widespread panic among residents and forcing many to flee into nearby bushes for safety.
Took a decision to have AFL personnel deployed in the park. If you look at our park covers a very vast land, and then the very circumference of that park form a parameter that is referred to as the buffer. So when they were deployed, they were asked to go with a mandate of ensuring that illicit minors are put out of the park and ensure that pushers, meaning people who were in the park going after animals, were not invading the park. And that was the mandate, that was the mission. They have deserted their posts, they are no more after minors, and you have them lingering all around the communities. Something that is also sad for the country. Amen. But there's the most recent episode. During the festive season, our tradition people gather in a town called Nyinawoleke, and the exercise started around Saturday to Sunday, and then Monday evening, which was the 25th, by 7 p.m. The guys deserted their posts, received information that they entered those towns in alcohol. They have gone in there to go after the people's wives, to look for women in those communities, and the tradition was already in charge of the town. When they hit the ground, the traditional people decided finding a place for them to be, so that they could not interfere with those ongoing traditional practices that were already in motion. And to our greater surprise, as part of the traditional action that requested that all women and no member remain indoor and holding constant that the AFL already placed in the area where they should just be. When that pronouncement and announcement was made by the traditional messenger, the AFL resisted that girls and women shouldn't go indoor. The AFL started going after our traditional people, and they loosened up into huge firing. And to our greater surprise, as the calls kept coming, even people who were calling, we could not get the voices because over 80 men had loosened up into shooting all around the town, going after our Zos, our Bodios, our traditional leaders, and even apprehending some of them, beating on them, and the situation got so devastating. The entire town got terrorized as many people flee the town to the bushes.
He is Sino County Electoral District Number 2 Representative Samson Weir there speaking. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has announced its readiness to host the inaugural Liberia European Union Business Forum in Brussels, Belgium. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the forum is scheduled to begin on February 24th, 2026, and will be held under the theme, The Arts in the IRS Invest in Liberia 2026. The disclosure was made on Wednesday by Liberia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Madam Sarah Besloyanti, in collaboration with the European Union Ambassador to Liberia, Donna de Press. They disclosed that the forum is being organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the National Investment Commission, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, along with other key government institutions. The official noted that the event forms part of Liberia's broader economic diplomacy and investment promotion strategy aimed at attracting foreign direct investment and strengthening international partnerships.
It is my great pleasure to announce the first ever Liberia EU Business Forum, jointly organized by the Government of Liberia and the European Union under the Global Gateway Initiative.
The forum will take place on the 24th and 25th of February 2026 in Brussels, bringing together Liberian and European policymakers, investors, and entrepreneurs.
The theme, The Arts in the Arrest Agenda, focuses on agriculture, roads, and infrastructure, tourism, and sanitation. These are key pillars of Liberia's Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, a national framework for sustainable development, progress, and shared prosperity.
These priorities resonate strongly with the EU's Global Gateway, which seeks to foster smart, clean, and secure investments in infrastructure, connecting people and economies for long-term impact and inclusive, sustainable development.
The forum will showcase Liberia's readiness for economic transformation by promoting agriculture as a driver for food security and industrial growth,
by highlighting infrastructure development as a catalyst for trade and investment,
and by unlocking the vast potential of tourism and hospitality as engines for job creation and cultural exchange. So, we invite you to join us this February in Brussels to engage with Liberia's leaders, entrepreneurs, and investors,
and to connect with European partners ready to build a bridge of opportunity between our two regions. See you in Brussels.
See you in Brussels.
She's Liberia Foreign Affairs Minister Sarah Besloyanti and European Union Ambassador to Liberia, Donna de Press. Citizen Movement for Change political leader and Niba County District 7 representative Musa Belete has criticized the National Legislature for its decision to repass President Joseph Boakai's veto port reform bill. President Boakai recently vetoed the bill, citing the need for greater clarity, among other concerns. The proposed legislation seeks to establish an independent Liberia Sea and Inland Ports Regulatory Authority and to grant autonomous status to seaports across the country. Critics argue that the legislature decision to override the bill has heightened constitutional and political tensions surrounding the control structures and future direction of Liberia's maritime governance system.
It's clear to me that our system, you need a president that will change the way things are done in this country.
You agree with Liberians who believe that our problem is there at the legislature?
What you call, I agree with that. I'm the proponent of that. Unless you have a legislature that does its work, we have a problem. They are the problem. It's a joke. Look at what is happening. Look at what is happening. How can you have just common sense? The president of the Republic of Liberia vetoes a bill with lines to say, I need more clarity on this. I need more clarity on it. Hey, my brother. You go send that bill with no explanation, with no answer to the president question. What happened is an embarrassment. Our whole Speaker Rachel Kuhn and the Prime Minister's Deputy Speaker or Thomas Fala.
Why are you calling Fala Prime Minister?
Because he's the one running the show.
You think so?
Yes.
No, he's not more powerful.
Let them just give us their opinion on the cause, the ramification of doing what we want to do. You say you want to make the thing smaller. Then you create a body, you give it more power than the NPA. I mean, what is this, man? You say that you want to you want to reduce and localize the thing, but in your act you create even more bureaucracy and give and take power from maritime all the people and give it to this so-called board now that he's setting up. So we need to look at that. We need to take an expert view. I am a lawmaker. Bring the document. They didn't bring it to us. They didn't, even the president, I demanded for the president letter so that I could have done my analysis based on it. They never give it to us. Giving us president letter, they did a war. I don't know what they think that we'll do with the president. The president is the president of the Republic of Liberia. When he writes the house, they read it in the place that, hey, we can't get it. On in Kofatan, when the president write the read it, he will put it in the chat room. So we all can take it and analyze it. Nah, it's not happening. And I'm just using this airway to beg Richard Dangbe Ko and Thomas Fala to please allow sanity to reign in our house. We want sanity.
Representative Bility maintained that the legislature conduct over the year has contributed to serious challenges for the Liberian people, including economic hardship and poor governance. Bility further argued that the Senate should have addressed the concerns raised in the two veto by providing clearer explanations and revisions before moving to repass the bill.
The Unity Party has installed their own speaker. I have absolutely nothing to the removal. Man, allow me to finish, man. You know, they've installed their own speaker. He is the speaker now. I have absolutely no desire to remove him. I've never participated in anything that has to do with removing him. And I can say this for our rule of law caucus. Our position has been, this is now our speaker. If there's an issue with he and his people, it's none of our business. They should resolve it. We have played no part and intend to play no part. They are having meeting, but also secondly, they are not serious. At the end of the day, in my mind, I think they have some internal disagreement in the rescue bloc, the so-called majority.
Oh, you mean it is the majority bloc doing their thing?
Yeah, they're just scaring each other. We don't have anything to do with it. We have no intention. Removing a speaker bring more disruption in the government than anything. Going about it the same way that they are going about the hour against yesterday, and now to become part of that today, that would be the same thing they can do. One sound resolution, okay. One move the speaker, but it's not. Look,
have they brought any resolution to you?
Nobody can bring any resolution to me. I'm not going to sign any resolution. I am not going to do
He's Limba County District 7 Representative Musa Hassan Belitida speaking. And if you just join us with the time 1/2 a reminder, you're listening to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest afterward. Stories we're following this evening. Sino County District 2 Representative Samson Weir accuses deployed AFL personnel at Sapo National Park of discharging firearms in Jadipo, Sino County, calls on authority of the Armed Forces of Liberia to launch an investigation into the alleged shooting incident. Government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, announces its readiness to host the inaugural Liberia European Union Business Forum in Belgium. Foreign Minister Sarah Besloyanti says the forum will feature high-level policy discussions and structures networking opportunities. Citizens Movement for Change political leader and Nimba County District 7 Representative Musa Beliti criticizes the legislature for its decision to repass President Joseph Boakar's vetoed port reform bill, argues that the action falls short of the principles of intergovernmental collaboration and responsible lawmaking. Away from Liberia, a plot to kill Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has been thwarted, the West African nation has announced. We are taking another short break and we'll come back. We continue with more voices on the program. Thanks for rejoining. On this one, a staunch supporter of the Congress for Democratic Change, based in Minnesota, United States of America, has contributed 1,000 United States dollars towards the construction of the party's proposed new headquarters in Congotown, Monrovia, Liberia. The donation was made earlier today when the chairman of the CDC construction team, Councillor Funati Kofa, received the amount from Heliton Tule as an initial payment toward the 10,000 US dollars promise. The pledge was made following the demolition of the CDC former headquarters by the United Party-led government through the Liberia National Police.
Initially, when the party headquarters was dismantled, I made an initial pledge of $10,000, and so I came to the country to fulfill my promise. And as a grassroots and somebody who followed I was standard bearer of the Judge Manuia. Somebody because of first of all, I'm one of the benefactors, one of the beneficiaries of all his generosity. And so, he coming to be the standard bearer of the CDC, and with all the good things he has done for our county, to see that another party, because of political motivations, the dismantle of the party headquarters was very, very heartbreaking to me. And seeing this, it was something that I felt that, when you travel abroad, when God bless you, you have to come back home and lend or help him to our people. And being a partisan, like a grassroots, that my beliefs and ideologies and values align with the Congress for Democratic Change, I believe that I needed to do something. And so when that happened, I made an initial play, as I said previously, the amount of $10,000. So I came to the country to fulfill my promise, and that's what I'm here for today. Some of us, when we do things, we do it for what we operate like a utilitarian, or under the umbrella of utilitarianism. So I don't need to do this, that I will be paid back tomorrow. If I'm leaving whatever I have in America to come back tomorrow, I will be losing. So even if I'm given the opportunity to come to church, if I'm doing it, I will be doing it on humanitarian basis because
he's a staunch supporter of the Congress for Democratic Change, based in Minnesota, the United States. A grieved citizen of Upper Broom County Electoral District, including traditional leaders, elders, youth groups, women organizations, and temporary National Elections Commission staffers, have issued a one-week ultimatum demanding the recall of Alfred Tukwa as senior elections magistrate of Upper Broom. The ultimatum was contained in a formal petition presented on Wednesday. The Broom County Superintendent Nolia Howard Norris calling on the NEC to immediately reverse Tukwa's appointment and replace him with what they described as qualified and experienced son of the and daughter of the county. The citizen alleged that although the NEC initially advertised the position between August 7 and August 15, 2025, the process lacked transparency and fairness. They claimed that the vacancy was posted only on a bulletin board at the NEC headquarters rather than the Commission's official website, allegedly limiting access for qualified applicants from Brown County.
Countless efforts have been made in engaging authorities of NEP with a written communication address on our NEP chairperson dated October 10, 2025, was received by Cherry Roberts. The letter was received by Cherry Roberts, the receptionist on duty, asking NEP to recall Alfred W. Tukwa and reconsider appointing a qualified and experienced son from Upper Broom County. To Honorable Nolia Howard Norris, Superintendent of Broom County, Anthony Senator Flomo Wena, Broom County Anthony, Honorable Prince Kamumwe Senior, Chair Broom County Legislative Caucus, Mr. George Philip Mobile CSO Chairperson, Broom County Chapter, Honorable Ure Chair, Broom County Chiefs and Elders Council, Mr. Nathan Matthew Jr., PUL Head, Broom County Chapter, and etc. Alfred's appointment has met serious resistance by citizens of Upper Broom based on his indecent, immoral conduct. Mr. Alfred W. Tukwa allegedly received money from some politicians in Grand Judah County during his stay as election magistrate to change results in their favor, which sparked out huge tension, where he was chased out of the county. He was recalled and later sent to Nima County again and rejected by the citizens based on his immoral conduct, including several others, which some are mentioned in our accounts. Therefore, the citizens of Upper Broom have unanimously agreed in principles that we cannot and will not work with Alfred W. Tokpa, and therefore he must be recalled. And Madam Director Brad Lasana, next year president, should reconsider appointing a qualified and experienced son from the county based on the following counts.
Some aggrieved citizens of Upper Broom County calling for the recall of Alfred Tokpa as senior elections magistrate of Upper Broom County. And away from Liberia, a plot to kill Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has been thwarted, the West African nation has announced. The sophisticated plan had been hatched by Lieutenant Colonel Paul Harry Dimamba, the military officer ousted by Traoré in September 2022, the security minister said in a late-night broadcast. Burkina Faso says intelligence services intercepted that operation in the final hours, noting that the attackers had planned to assassinate the head of the state and then strike other key institutions, including civilian personalities. Since he's in power, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has faced at least two coup attempts and also grappling with growing jihadist violence that has forced millions from their homes. Despite these challenges and his authoritarian reputation, the 37-year-old military leader maintains strong popular support and has gained a following across the continent for his pan-Africanist vision and criticism of Western influence. On that note, this is how I would like to go home this evening on this edition of the program King's News Broom, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest afterward. But just before we go home this evening, let's remind you of stories we've been following. Sino County District 2 Representative Samson Weird accuses deployed AFL personnel at the Sapo National Park of discharging firearms in Jedipo, Sino County, calls on authority of the Armed Forces of Liberia to launch an investigation into the alleged shooting incident. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, announces its readiness to host the inaugural Liberia-European Union Business Forum in Belgium. Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo-Yanti says the forum will feature high-level policy discussions and structures networking opportunities. Citizens Movement for Change political leader and Nima County District 7 Representative Musa Belete criticizes the legislature for its decision to repass President Joseph Boaka's vetoed Sport Reform Bill, argues that the action falls short of the principles of intergovernmental collaboration and responsible lawmaking. Away from Liberia, a plot to kill Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has been thwarted, the West African nation has announced. These are stories we follow here this evening on King's News Blog. Stephen Compton was here with the news bulletin. I would like to say many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, news editors who helped in making this package. As sources, my name is Newton Tugba. Thanks for listening and watching. Good evening.